All right, guys, welcome back. Chuck Mitchell here. Um, I'm sure you've figured it out by now by looking at the title that this probably isn't going to be the happiest of Hyliion videos. And if you're, I'm sure everyone's aware who's watched this or who's going to watch this, that yesterday Hyliion took a crap on us, right? And I hate to say it in those words, but it's unfortunate, but that's exactly what happened. For those of you who aren't familiar, Thomas Healy, or Hyliion rather, we can just call it what it is. He issued a press release Tuesday night, which basically indicated, depending on how you decipher it, but I'm sure everyone will kind of reach the same conclusion on it, that they're basically pausing the entire ERX system, right? And so obviously everyone panicked and went into a frenzy, and the stock ended up dipping down to 51 cents yesterday, and a lot of people sold out. And unfortunately, I understand why. I myself, I lost about half of what I had in it, and based on the sentiment now, with Thomas Healy really not being able to be trusted at this point, I can understand why everybody sold out, including myself. Um, so, in light of the entire situation, those of you who participated and listened to the conference call, which I want to give a special shout out to Ryan, an independent investor. He was able to come online and host it for us, and offered a little bit of commentary as well, which I really appreciate that. And some people from Discord were on that as well. Um, but this was just really a shameful way to do business, pretty disgraceful in my opinion. After, depending on how long you've been in this company, how long you've been in this stock, whether it be 3 years or 3 months, I'm coming up on a little under a year myself, but how disappointing to be treated that way. A lot of people, if they just did decide to sell, lost a shitload of money yesterday, and nothing could have been done about it. You know, they issued the press release a little after 4 o'clock Tuesday, so nobody had really a chance to digest it before they could make a decision how they're going to move forward. And that was really shitty, really bad business. And even though myself, I'm still extremely bullish on the Carno generator. I want to touch on that a little bit, even though it looks like ERX probably isn't going to be adopted as fast as we thought, or maybe even at all, which is really disappointing. But the Carno generator has a big addressable market, even bigger, I think, than the semi trucks do in a stationary application. However, with the amount of failures that we now have with Hyliion, with the EX, and now potentially the ERX, along with the sentiment that the company itself appears extremely dishonest, that's a really not a good recipe for anything good. And so I'm going to take a step back from Hyliion. I'm going to keep an eye on it and see what goes on. I've got some personal things I want to take care of with building my Jeep and getting it ready for next summer and whatnot. So I'm gonna spend some money on that and actually get a return on the investment. Maybe not in monetary gain, but in experiences, which is sometimes even more important than money. Um, so sentiment, like I said, is an all-time low, and it hurt yesterday just to watch that. I'm actually a little relieved that I'm out of the stock right now, even though I did sell it at a pretty hefty loss. About half of what I had. About half of what I had in it is now in cyberspace somewhere. Someone's using it, and Thomas Healy's probably laughing all the way to the bank. So it is what it is. But we all knew what we were getting into when we signed up for this. But it's really disappointing that he would pull the rug out from under us like he did yesterday. And I believe a lot of people probably have the same sentiment. So, in closing, guys, the adaptation, or rather, not adaptation, the adoption of these semi trucks, these electric semi trucks, while I think that in the future it's going to happen, I don't think it's going to happen right away. Um, People are still afraid, of the unknown, which is totally understandable. And in relation to the Carnot generator, even though I'm bullish on it, even though I think it's going to work, I think it's going to end up being uh, another ERX situation where you have the truck, right, which is almost twice, probably more than twice as expensive as a regular diesel truck, right? Now, yes, you have some fuel savings and you have some different capabilities with it, but these fleets are not going to pay this money for this technology that they have no idea what to do with. Um, they're just going to keep paying for the diesel fuel for these standard trucks. Um, and the Carnot generator, I believe, is going to end up in that same boat, because why would they spend money on a Carnot generator right now, or in 2 or 3 years, or however long it takes to get employed, when they can go buy a Generac that can run on natural gas or diesel or whatever other fuel it's designed to run on for, I'm guessing, way less than half the price. Of course, we don't know what the Carnot is going to cost, but based on the fact that it requires 3D printing, which takes a while, um, and is very precise in the way it does it, I imagine it's going to be pretty expensive. So, with all those things in mind, I feel like it's a good idea for me personally to step away from the Hyliion project right at this moment. I'm not against getting back into it in the future. However, I, like many others, believe that the trust in the company, the trust in the leadership of the company has pretty much 100% dissolved at this point. They were extremely untruthful. And even during the conference call yesterday, we saw that they weren't taking any questions, right? And that also alludes to the sentiment that they really don't give a shit. So, it is what it is, guys. I'm happy with the decision I made, and hopefully the sentiment gets better. But I think, along with a lot of you guys, especially some of the older, older is probably the wrong word, the more seasoned guys on Discord, the more knowledgeable guys on Discord, Excalibur, Dan, Andreas, Silent Alert, um, I just want to also give a shout out to each one of those guys that not only has taught me a lot about investing, but doing the work, doing the due diligence, making those decisions for yourself. And I think a lot of that really lends itself to the community that we all kind of created there when we, signed up for this Hyliion project. So if you guys have questions, you want to reach out to me personally, shoot me a message. And if you guys are also interested in the additional content on the channel, with trains and working on the Jeep and stuff like that, give me a subscribe, guys, and hopefully this project will get out of the gutter where it's currently at, and we can maybe revisit this some other time. But until then, guys, I'll talk to you then, and War Eagle.